Hey, welcome. I'm Ron Neitzel, author of the Green Wizard's Guide. Yeah, this is not a normal because I'm going to go live with this. Um, I normally put them in the background and then release them after the fact, but I ran into this on Facebook yesterday, and it just triggered a thought, and it triggered a whole different different ways of looking at life and different ways of looking at your garden. Um, and these rules, I guess they can apply across the board. Um, and there's more we could add to it. It's really interesting. Um, if you go by this, it's I'll just read them off. There's seven here, but others come to mind as I'm going through this. So and some may come to mind with you guys. That's why I'm going to leave this open for live so that others can come in and kind of join in on this. Um, Number one, see failure as beginning, not an end. Number two, make peace with your past. Let it go. Number three, habits decide your future. Act accordingly. Number four, if you don't go after it, you won't have it. Number five, earn, save, and invest before you spend it. That one, yeah, we should probably just go back and talk about these in detail. Number six, avoid negative people. Life is too short. Wow, does that ring true? Number seven, never compare yourself to others. Again, I mean, these things ring so true. Hey, reap what you sow. Good morning. 320 Homestead. Welcome. You know, so I know you guys didn't catch all of this because I started before you guys entered the room, but um, see failure as your beginning. I mean, that's kind of what made me write the book. It's like I screwed up so many times gardening, and things were so off. And I sat there in total confusion so many days trying to figure out what was wrong, what wasn't I seeing, what was I doing wrong. My grandfather could do it, my father could do it. What was I missing that that I was wrong? And it was the misunderstanding and the forgetfulness of the food web. Yeah, I'm addressing soil issues. Yeah, I'm addressing this. I'm addressing this, and I'm addressing this. But at the same time, what I'm thinking is my secret solution and my, nitrogen blast and this, that, and the other is stopping the food web. And that's what's going on with the NPK system. Uh, and people are only using that 12-point system, um, um, and they're stopping the food web. They're not giving all the nutrients that are required in all the different types of plants we want to grow in our gardens. But that, I mean, see, to me, it wasn't a failure because I learned from it and I remembered things from my past. And that's what made me write the book. So many of you have the book or are considering getting the book, but you're not understanding, what it is I've actually done. And that's to just give you the information I forgot. We forgot that wasn't passed down so that you have the information in your hands and can adjust accordingly. You may be doing a bunch of different things from the NPK system and not understanding that a lot of that is oil based and it's hurting the food web. And when you switch gears and slightly go a different direction, um, the food web comes back. And all of a sudden you have this explosion in your soils that don't don't credit the NPK system. The NPK system is what's destroying the planet. The NPK system is what's causing all of the flooding in areas. When you don't have topsoil and you just have clay, everything's going to flood. Hey, Ray, what's going on, buddy? So there's a whole lot here. There's a whole lot in this book Yeah, granted, it's 114 pages. People misunderstand. You read this book and you're entertained, because I didn't want a service manual for gardening. Um, so you're entertained, and then you realize as you've gone through this book, there's a whole lot of detail here that you need to go back and pick out and hand pick and utilize. If you follow the guide and you follow the basics that are within the book, um, what's possible, what your yard is capable of doing, what Mother Nature can do for your garden is incredible, incredible. And people, I don't know, I don't know. We thought we had stumbled across a really good set of terms when uh, another channel that had done a review for the book come out and said the solution is in the book. And throughout his entire video, he kept saying the solution is in the book. And that's why I hope a lot of other channels review the book, because that catchphrase, the solutions are in the book, didn't catch. And I'm hoping somebody else comes up with the catchphrase, because inevitably I'm going to be out talking about this book and giving talks about this, and I'm looking for that catchphrase that flips everybody's memory, that gets everybody going. That and Jim Rohn and all these others talk about this kind of stuff when they're these motivational speakers. You've got to catch that one. Just like with my videos, when I get impassioned and I really get after something and I get excited about something and I carry on about something, those videos do really, really well and I get a lot of watch time. But most of the time, it's just me sitting here talking and it's not really going anywhere, and it just really never catches on, and I don't get a lot of watch time. And I get that. Okay, I've got no problem with that. Um, anyhow, make peace with your past. Well, oh God, does that just ring true in so many different areas of our lives? Making a mistake in your garden and your lettuce or your tomatoes failing, that's not a failure. That's a success story, because you know what you did wrong and you're not going to go back and repeat it next year or in the next grow cycle. You're not going to apply this, or you're going to apply something. So mistakes in the garden aren't mistakes. It's a learning process. It's going to make you that master gardener, if that's what you want to call yourself, because you're going to, and a lot of people are going to sit back and say, wait, the soils. My soil's different in Texas than the soils over in Florida. Yeah, they are, but the food web's not. And that's the point of the book, is that base understanding. Look at the food chain. We're supposed to be the superiors at the top of the food chain. Are we? Because we keep screwing around down there at the beginning of the food web and totally forgetting the microscopic level. So we're creating bad food to feed the top of the food chain and everything in between. So who's the top of the food chain, really? Most animals will avoid certain plants in certain areas, what have you, because they can tell there's something wrong with the food. You put bad food down for your dog, what have you, and the dog smells it and backs away. Hand them shit, McDonald's or a Burger King cheeseburger, and they back away. Yeah, because that's not food. There's something wrong. That's just like this new veggie burger that's come out. I've already found the chemical recipe for it, because it's not being made from plants. They're trying to tell you it is, but it's not. They're giving us all this toxic garbage because it's inexpensive for them to create and something for us to buy with money that isn't worth anything. You figure it out. Habits decide your future. Now, I mean, really, if you continually practice spending your money on junk, every time you walk in the grocery store, you have to stop and get get your quarter out and stick it in that gumball machine and get that impulse buy of having that piece of, bubble gum in your mouth while you walk around the store, but you're throwing away that 25 cents, right? You got to get out of those kind of habits. Just like when it comes to the garden, don't use tap water from the city. There's toxins in there. Get out of those bad habits. Look at what Mother Nature does. Look at how she filters things. Maybe we should be doing the same thing. Take that same tap water and running it through a pile of leaves and running it through a pile of charcoal and running it through, and then letting it bleed out into the garden and water that way. Don't continually reproduce failure and bad mistakes, and that's again why I push the guide. Don't keep going out and buying the same materials year after year like I did and producing the best weed field possible, because Mother Nature's trying to reclaim that field. Learn from the weeds. So going out and spending $250 every year to try and treat your yard, your roses, your bushes, your flowers, putting down dyed mulch and chemically treated this, that, and the other, and then framing everything up in these treated lumbers and this, that, and the other, so that they last longer, and all of this stuff deteriorates and bleeds off chemicals into your yard and does all this damage. Right. Stop doing that. You want a productive yard. You want a productive, because your yard is part of the food web that feeds your garden. And it's part of the world that ingests and absorbs carbon monoxide and gives us oxygen. Why would you not take care of your yard, your bushes, your flowers the same way you take care of your garden, when it's going to produce cleaner, healthier oxygen for you? That's kind of the point of this. That's why it's not a gardening book. This is a yard care garden book, because it all matters. When the food web can reach out over a mile to bring back a mineral that it needs specific to a plant you're trying to grow, why would you not take care of the yard around the garden so that the food web can reach out further? That would be like building a garden and then surrounding it with nothing but cement, 50 feet deep or whatever, so that nothing can reach out or do whatever. Every time you NPK treat your yard around your garden and then organically treat your garden, you're doing just that. You're creating a cement puddle for all the water, the chemicals to bleed into, and everything to fail. Why continue failing? We've proven it since the 50s. Look at how bad these farms flooded out all over Ohio and Michigan and what have you. And total devastation. Why? Because of the NPK process turning everything into clay. The 12-point system that is the NPK system is a failure. Stop reproducing the failure. If you want healthier foods, and this goes to point 4, if you want healthier foods, you have to be the one to go get them. If you want to succeed in life, you're the one that has to go get it. Nobody is obligated to hand it to you. Now, I've got a friend here, it's in channel, that bases his life on the success of others. Seriously. And he has no expectations of his own. He has no intent of his own channel growing. Yet he's basing his success, and he has proven it time and time again, basing his success on the success of your channel, on the success of other channels. And he thrives on the ability to go help others. And it's really weird, because the man just sits there and kind of does his own thing and uses a crayon to color in my book and munches on crayons late at night and just keeps his world together. But literally, he's got no expectation of growing a channel. He bases his success on the success of other channels and the channels that he calls friends. Wow, talk about a success story. Seriously. It's not about having the fanciest car or the highest paying video or his is about the success of other channels around him. He surrounds himself with positive growing channels, and he does everything he can to support those channels. I mean, talk about like the Good Samaritan scenario. I mean, really, there's so much we could learn from that, honestly. And you know who you guys know who it is if you're friends with this gentleman. Um, and my hat's off to you. That's your success is other channels around you, and I see it constantly. Um, Earn, save. This is point number 5. Earn, save, invest before you spend it. Wow. You know, I see people constantly going to their gardens and going, I need, I need, I need. Yet they're going to rake up all of their leaves and throw them away and leave the soil barren and throw away all those minerals that are in each and every one of those leaves. They have roses in their yards that are failing and they can't understand why, yet they're throwing away the potential acids from different types of pine needles and what have you, that could go around those roses and get those roses to do that much better. People, it's 89 cents to buy a little packet of seeds that could be hundreds of dollars in value from the plants growing around you. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that name, but welcome to the room. Yeah, when you can take my guide and have a better understanding and apply it to your yard and apply it to your garden and let things start going their own direction, and you take that 89 cents in seeds and you produce hundreds of dollars worth of nutritious food that has not been tasted in over 30 years from a grocery store. What's the savings? You've invested in a pack of seeds. Instead of throwing the leaves away, you utilize them and get them back into use and get them breaking down. And there's a whole thing here that I just watch continually as people just throw this stuff away. They're told by Mr. Yard Care guy, oh no, you got to get all them leaves up. They're going to wipe out your yard. Are they? Leaves are one of the best composters in the world and can more than take care of your flower beds, your gardens, and what have you. And people, under this NPK mindset, this master gardener, my yard's so beautiful, are throwing these things away when they could be utilizing them and getting even better results in their yard. Why are you throwing away something your yard is building for you? And you could be using that. Oh, where am I? 19 minutes. I'm over what I wanted to do. Avoid negative people. Hey, now, there are so many ways I can run with that. I have neighbors that tell me certain plants won't grow in my grow zone here in Cleveland, and then I go ahead and grow them and upset the neighbor and You know, that they've got all this negativity about them, and I eventually just stop talking to them and go a different direction. I prove them wrong, and then I go a different direction because they're not going to understand. They're not going to learn. You know, you feed your dogs with some incredible foods, and I feed my dogs better than I eat myself. And then all of that dropping, they want to instantly clean up, throw in the trash, and throw away, and they spend just as much money or even more money than I do on dog foods and treats and what have you. And here's this incredible resource you're just throwing away. Now, I've even got some neighbors that tell me that, oh my God, nothing grows in manure and it makes it toxic, and I won't eat anything that comes off of horse manure or cattle manure or what have you. And they, wow, just, yeah, oozing negativity. You know, other channels around YouTube, they actually get upset with somebody else's success, and then they want to go out and get all negative about what your channel's doing and what you're achieving and what's, wow, really? Why don't you just worry about your own little world and create your own little nirvana and not worry about what other people are doing? Or maybe take the lead from that channel I was just talking about a little while ago and succeed from your channel by helping another channel, because you'll inevitably go with them. Maybe not as big as they have, but you're going to go up. And you can base your success on other people's success. Well, that's what they do, 320. They refuse to use the manure, and then they sit back and can't understand why my garden is doing so much better, why my garden is producing so much more, why I have fewer plants than they do, and I still have greater abundance of everything. They can't understand it. They can't understand how the food chain, starting at the food web all the way up to us, actually works. I guess everything's supposed to come out of a chemical plant, and that's all they're going to eat because there's no manure there. There is no symbiotic relationship here that says because you grew something in a partial manure field that is considered organic matter, that, oh my God, you're eating shit because you're eating a rose that was grown in this field. Oh my God, the people, wow, must be Democrats. I'll stop because I could go off on that one, but never compare yourself to others. The final point here, and yeah, you'd have to go back and listen to the entire video to pick up all the points that I'm talking about. But if you're more worried about what your next door neighbor's garden looks like, whether it's got weeds in it, and whether it's that stick in somebody else's eye when you've got a tree in yours type of thing, you're never going to succeed. You're going to hold yourself back on a continual basis, and nothing, and I do mean nothing, is going to move forward. You're going to sit still, sit stagnant. Your garden is going to fail while you're worried about somebody else is doing anything. Hey, good morning. Every day in his patience, and who else did I see slip in there? Carolyn to be free. Good morning. Good morning. Now I'm not. Let's take the comparative. And this is an extreme, and I'll stop at that point, shut this off, and thank all of you for coming, and go back and listen. Pick up all the 7 points that I'm talking about here. But it's like, okay, so do you base your life on the next door neighbor drives a BMW, so I have to drive a BMW? Really? That's the importance in life? Four wheels is still going to get you from point A to point B at the same time. It's not a matter of luxury. It's not a matter of he said, she said, or oh my God, look at me. Four wheels is still going to get you from point A to point B. Do you really need to spend $100,000 to have this incredible car and be the nicest one on the street? Or will a $10,000 car still get you from point A to point B? Maybe not as luxuriously, but you're still going to be able to accomplish exactly the same thing. $100,000 versus $10,000. And that's that earn, save, investment before you spend it. Really think about that. Do you need to spend that $100,000 to have four wheels under you to take you from point A to point B? We've got to get out of that, right? The materialism idea and the ideology, right? It's not about what you own and what you have. I mean, come on, I've got four different modes of transportation here. It doesn't matter what they are; they still get me from point A to point B. My biggest concern is how do I do it with the least amount of gas? Because gas is just out of control with its prices. If I can go 35 miles and only do it on a quarter tank of gas in my Harley versus getting my four-wheel drive truck out and getting 12 miles to the gallon, well, then I guess, comparatively. So, yeah, the rules of success. When you base your life on society's way of doing things and the way that the media and everybody else has tried to push the mindset, report your neighbor, don't be friends with your neighbor, live as a stranger and keep a wall around you and keep everybody away and compare your life to everybody else's life. Hey, a cup of tea. What's going on? Oh, there's that other channel. Okay, I got you. So yeah, I'm going to stop this because I don't want to make this too long because I want people to actually hear this one. This one's a better one. The 7 rules to succeed in life, and you can take that and apply that to your garden. You can apply that to your life. You can apply that to your ideology. You can apply even, hey, Ian Jackson, what's going on, buddy? You can even apply that to your health care. There's, it's a mindset. Where you put yourself in your world and what you consider successful. To some people, just being able to get up out of bed in the morning is a success story. To others, being able to get across a room in a certain amount of time is a success story. You think your life is bad, think about those people. Think about the guy and his partner that showed up early in the morning and unloaded 60,000 bricks at the wrong house. That's a bad day. Is your day that bad? Really, think that through. Hey, Earthly, here's Diana. Welcome, welcome. Oh, a raid from Diana. Well, just as I'm getting ready to shut down. Hello, good morning, Gracie. So yeah, think that through. Think those ideologies through. Basing your life on what your next door neighbor has, or how successful. Hey, Pink Prozac, what's going on, sweetie? It's fun as men to sit down and compare the end garden results. But does that mean that because a white mold fungus got into his garden in the beginning or the middle of his growth season and I'm not going to go help? No, that's men being men. They help each other. But when we reach the end of the season and we all sit down and compare apples to apples. Hey, Paul's Wine Soup, what's going on? Welcome, Raiders. When you sit down and you compare it, and you compare how many apples you grew, how many peppers you grew, how many tomatoes you grew, for how many plants, and then to actually sit down and do a taste test and see who's produced the best, the most nutritious, the most this, the most that, the most the other. there's a lot to be said. Oh, that's me playing an Indian flute, uh, Paul. But it's not about, yeah, you get bragging rights. If I were to have this circumstance and be able to, get over next to Bobby's house and grow a garden, you know, uh, 50 feet away from him or 100 feet away from him, and then go through the entire season and see who's got the best and who's got the most flavorful, and it might actually motivate Bobby to get up and do something in his garden. Well, no, let's think that through. Those of you that know Bobby, uh, yeah, it would be me competing with his mother, because his mother would be out there doing it. Bobby would be ordering from Amazon. Anyhow, I know I shouldn't shut it down because it's 11 people in the room, what have you. But hey, I appreciate you stopping by, Raiders. Apparently, Diane is up and running. So everybody head on over to Diane's channel. If somebody's got a link for her, put her link up and head on over to Diane's, because I'm done talking. 30 minutes is a whole lot longer than I wanted to go. And I wanted to just make sure that I kind of got these things out there for gardening, for everything that we do, in a way of the ideology of life. Granted, I am looking for somebody to go through my book and come up with that catchphrase that just lights the book up and gets this thing launched finally. We're coming up on a year. February 19th, this book will have been available to the public for a year, and we still haven't ignited the fire behind it. It doesn't matter how much I tell you you can save. Doesn't matter how much I tell you you can make. Somebody that's in the lawn care business can utilize this and end up with a much longer growing season and have to cut more grass in that person's yard and get paid a whole lot more money when it would normally be going dormant. There'd be less water used, money in the owner's pocket, because of utilizing this system and utilizing what Mother Nature does in nature. The reason a lot of our forests are failing, and we can't look at Australia because Australia was lit on fire by 51 people that had nothing to do with what's going on globally. What's failing in nature right now is this global warming treatment that they're trying to push on us, and it's wiping out forests and it's devastating everything because they're actually spraying down the forest with chemotherapy treatments, claiming global warming. They want to reflect the radiation back out into space. Our planet's been here billions of years, reflecting this stuff off the planet. What makes us think that we need to correct anything? We need to get back to nature. We need to reclaim our forests. We need to stop the devastation. We need to get after the people that have done this and prosecute them. But in the meantime, you got to fix your own yard. Get healthy. Start eating healthier foods. Stop shopping at the grocery store and go local organics. Go to your local farmer, your local gardener, and offer to buy his results. There's so much buried in this little itty bitty book of mine, The Green Wizard's Guide, available on Amazon, that once put into place in your yard, people are asking me constantly, and two sisters were asking me last night, do I have to keep doing this year after year after year? No. Once the system starts working, it expands on its own. And every time you help it, it expands that much further, that much stronger, that much healthier, even more so than any other. It's incredible what this little itty bitty book, this little entertaining guide, can teach all of us by just reminding us of what we've forgotten. Instead of the NPK system, let's go back to nature. So those of you that have the book, look, I'm looking for that catchphrase. Do the review on the book. Tell me what you think so that I can, post your video here, and maybe you're going to be the one to come up with that fantastic catchphrase that I can use when I'm out doing conferences that's going to get people excited about this. Because I'm at my wit's end. It's been a year I've been trying with this. I'm not getting anywhere. So I'm hoping one of you guys, because you guys are fantastic creators. You guys have got incredible minds. So get your reviews out. Get your review videos done. Get your reviews on Amazon. I'm looking for that catchphrase. You know, it's a whole new year coming February 19th. I don't know why it hasn't launched. I don't know why this thing hasn't caught fire across the planet. You know, that little girl from Switzerland is up for the Nobel Peace Prize because she came on and she read a script and she got all passionate. How dare you destroy my planet, while she's standing there in plastics, covered in plastic makeups, all oil-based, traveling the country and traveling the world, collecting paychecks, flying around in private jets, this, that, and the other. But she's up for the Nobel Peace Prize because she wants to point at all of you and blame all of you for causing global warming. Wow. She's offering no solutions, but she's abusing the system in the process so she can collect a paycheck for her family. Yeah, Gretchen's real incredible, all right. Meanwhile, our government's not offering any solutions. I'm trying to hand you a solution. The solution's in the book, everybody. We can fix this. Hey, there's lovely Lisa. What's going on? So I'm going to shut this off. I know I went too long. There's 7 rules of success in your life that I've covered, that I've tried to make it into gardening, but each and every one of them I rattled off the beginning of this video and then tore it apart for gardening. So I appreciate you all coming. Love seeing each and every one of you supporting me. Have a great day. I'm out of here. We will talk to you all later. If you enjoyed this, share this out with everybody on Facebook, Twitter, Twitter, whatever. And we'll catch you all later. Ring that bell. Press that button if you're new here. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you all later. Have a great day. You know where to find me. I'll be out there on a stream somewhere.